Hello, I'm David Gray, and I'm here representing Airtext. This is a low-cost aviation communication product, and we have a family of products I'd like to talk about. Airtext was introduced a couple years ago. Very small product, weighs just under a pound. It is based on Iridium, so we have worldwide coverage. We can have 64 simultaneous users. We use low-cost burst messaging. We have both iOS and Android apps. As I mentioned before, a very small footprint. We also have Airtext Plus, which we introduced last year. It's great for customers that are concerned about the expenses that we've seen using the internet. It's great for smaller airplanes and also supplemental connectivity for the large airplanes. The list price, and I find that people aren't really talking much price up here, it's $14,950. We've been delivering, as I mentioned before, 5 cents a message, so it's very low cost, and $1.60 a minute for phone calls. So what's new? This year we had some pilot functionality and some accessories. We found that Airtext has morphed. Initially it was for passengers sending text messages, but we found a great use, and it's really a data link for pilots. It took us a year. The FAA approved our servers, and so now we're able to send up digital ATIS up to the airplanes. We can send up ASOS and international METARs and TAFs. Now, what's the game changer there? Well, it used to be that we'd used to fly and have to wait until we get there in order to get our digital ATIS and ASOS because we had to be within radio range. Well, now you can do it anywhere in the world at any altitude. We introduced something new called FBO Link. FBO Link is another way of communicating with the FBOs direct from the pilot's device. So we're talking about just your phone or your tablet, and you could send a message directly to the CSR at the FBO. Again, you get up to altitude, and you could do this anywhere in your flight. You could be going across the pond. It really is a big assistance and good for safety of flight. We have now an ability to enunciate an indicator in the cockpit, so a dispatcher can alert the pilot that they have a message for them. I mentioned we have some new hardware. The first thing we came out with is a small enunciator, very small, lightweight. It uses e-ink technology. So if anybody has a Kindle, you're familiar with that technology. And what we can do is tell the passenger or pilot that they have some messages waiting for them. The second thing that we have, it's about the size of a USB stick. It's an extender antenna. And we can have up to 32 of these mounted out and about, say if you have a head of state airplane, or we do some things for yachts. And so you'd put those out throughout the vehicle because we're using Bluetooth. So what's new and next, and that's Iridium Next. Many people might know that we have 40 satellites up there now. There's going to be a total of 70. Another 10 are launched this weekend. Expected completion the end of this year, and significant increase in bandwidth. So I invite you to come to our booth, which is booth number 240. Ask us what's new. There's a lot I couldn't tell you today, and sign up to become a dealer. Thank you very much.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 61st Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Avidyne is the pilot-centric innovator. If you look at Avidyne's 20-plus year history, we had the first moving map, full color, that had everything on it. We were the first ones to do a primary flight display for general aviation. Avidyne has lots of opportunities and things in the works that will continue the leadership role we played in the past of coming up with new concepts and always having the best user interface to them.
Are you stall smart? Ever since Orville and Wilbur took to the skies, pilots have been taught that the more airspeed you have, the better off you are. But over the last 100+ years, we've learned that's not always the case. Take stalls, for example. The common belief is that if you have sufficient airspeed, the aircraft won't stall. The fact is, an airfoil always stalls at the same critical angle of attack in relation to the relative airflow, regardless of airspeed, configuration, or weight. Learn more at aspenavionics.com.